Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of CyberJar live streams. My name is Catherine Edelweiss. I'm a developer advocate at Bellsoft, and today with me in the studio I have Igor Souza, a software engineer in the data engineering team at TechRow and the leader of Java in Education initiative. Welcome, Igor. Happy to have you here.
Hello, hey, Catherine, hey guys. Nice to be here. Thanks for the invitation, right?
Oh, thank you for coming. It is a very, very interesting topic, Java indication, because usually we talk about software development practices, but now it's more on the level of keeping Java alive and thriving, right? And this is what the initiative is about, right? So tell us a little bit more about that. So, what is this initiative in one sentence, if you could describe it in one sentence?
It's a tricky one, right? So
Yeah.
basically, we have several fronts, if you like, but the initiative is a place where we can catalog or group or aggregate Java resources around education. Could be YouTube videos, could be books, could be tutorials, could be guidelines, everything that you can use for learn Java.
Cool. And what has motivated you into starting the initiative?
It was a combination of things. First, this doesn't exist, right? It didn't have a place.
Hmm.
And then the main thing was I was talking with people. I'm really keen in Coder Dojo and STEAM education and things like that, right? By the way,
Hmm.
Coder Dojo was created by an Irish guy. So I'm based in Ireland, so it was really
Yeah.
coincidence. And then I was talking with people there, and I realized that they don't have official Java uh, support or any tutorials, right? Kind of in official way. I know people organize Coder Dojo worldwide, and in a collaborative way or effort, they create the Java, but it's more kind of a group niche. There is no official version, right?
Yeah.
And then the Coder Dojo became Coder Club, and nowadays is under the Raspberry Pi Foundation umbrella. They
Hmm.
covered loads of things. I don't know exactly why they changed the name and brand, those kind of things. But I joined a Slack group there, and I was talking, well, what is Java? Can we let's put Java in Java? And then suddenly talking with people, the conversation ended up why we don't create a place where we can start gathering the material that is already exists outside, right? Then that's why how the initiative started. Let's say that around those conversations.
Cool. Cool. We already have some visitors. Hello, Mayuri from India. Hello, Hamza. I'm fine, thank you. And Igor, how are you doing?
Yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah,
Thank you, everybody, for joining. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments section about anything in the world, really. And we'll do our best to answer them. And also, well, just a fun thing, you can post where you're joining us from because whenever I conduct the streams, I'm always amazed from which corners of the world people are joining. This is so nice, internet bringing people together, right?
nice. Yeah.
Right. So coming back to Java in education initiative, so why have you decided that Java needs this kind of a boost in education?
And again, another good question or tricky question, it's supposed to say.
I
So
have this ones,
I
yeah.
have Java background, right? So
Mhm.
I wa- I didn't. I think I didn't think about like we need Java. It's just like why not, right? And
So if you were doing Python, then you would create a Python in education initiative.
yeah, the problem is if when you look at those initiatives, Coder Dojo or Coder Club, they have JavaScript, they have Python, they have a Scratch, drag and drop tools that kids can learn like basically about programming language. They have HTML and CSS, those kind of things. The one thing that I realize is they don't have any kind of language orientation, object orientation programming language, right? And
Hmm.
nothing that regard. They don't have any initiatives regarding different paradigms, right? So if I want functional object orientation or procedural, they don't have those kind of things. they don't have Java, by the way, right? So that's
Yes.
how everything started. And then again, I think it's nice way for kids to learn in different language, different ways to think and different paradigms, and maybe learning a little bit of object orientation. I'm not saying Java is the best way to start on that sense, that regard, but why not, right? It's a popular language, it's used every worldwide, right? It's maybe the top five most used language,
Hmm.
enterprise level. So there's loads of why. So that's why I was trying to fill the gap. And again, nothing blocks or impede anyone to start Kotlin or Scala or any other language. There is not. But it's just the point of it's a nice niche, s- super popular and super useful, right? And
Yeah.
one
Hmm.
it is a long time ago. I don't know the if it's true or not. I don't have the precise information, but we have they call, I think it's code.org, that is kind of similar with Coder Dojo, but in US. Let's say the
Hmm.
US version of Coder Dojo. And then in a specific lab, they use that thing for same reasons, right? Teach kids and teenagers basic of programming. But if the kid decide to go and study programming language, they have some obligatory course that they need to do. And I think between so the Coder Dojo goes from 6 to 17 years old, right? There's loads sequence of course, but I think in the US version, I might be mistaken, but for 14 to 16 or something like that, they need to do Java, so Java is obligatory. So in
Hmm.
that sense, again, so they need learning a little bit of Java. So that's the idea. Coder Dojo can help in that regard, right? So
Yes, yes, and that's cool. Well, one reason I guess why Java is not considered a was not at least earlier considered as a good language for beginners. That's people thought that it's very verbose and too complex, right? It's even like Hello World, the simplest program, has a lot of enterprise grade features, right, that beginners may not understand. So would you say that Java now is easier actually to understand, easier to get, and is a better fit for beginners than it was several years ago?
yes, definitely yes. There is you touch in a really nice topic. There is, as I said, right. Besides the initiative, there is different things that we are doing in background or in parallel. But you touch a really nice topic. Java has loads of legends, let's say, right, or myths. Java is verbose. Java is too slow. Java is consumes loads of memory. Java is dying, right? I work with Java 20 years and I keep listening the same thing. Java is dying. Java's enterprise. Java does there is no fun. There is lots of myths, right? We
Yeah, they
call
say that
legends, right?
Java is dying every year. Every year, here the same
Yeah,
Java is dying. Like really, it's dying. It has been dying for 30 years. I mean, isn't that
yeah,
ridiculous?
that's the idea. So then answer those or create some a way to answer those myths or to say that this is not necessarily true. It's kind of helps the education initiative somehow somewhere, right?
Hmm.
So I did I create myself some articles. Majority of them are in full J. Some are my blog posts, but majority of them end up in full J. But one of the other things that we can do is another catalog, if you like, right, of
Yeah.
myths or of legends, Java legends. And then we have links that answer, not necessarily need be my blog posts or my articles, but links that answer. So there's loads of articles outside that shows why Java is not verbose anymore, or why Java is not slow anymore, or why Java doesn't consume loads of memory anymore.
Hmm.
But to point to your question, yes, after Java 21 plus or 25 plus, there's loads of changes on JVM that improves a lot. And nowadays, Java is not verbose, it's not slow, it doesn't consume too much memory. There's Java evolved over the years, right? After they decided the cadence of 6 months release, then becomes even more visible that involve faster and faster and faster. We have things that we don't need the public static void main string args. We don't need this full loads of words anymore, right? So you can have void main and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Even the system.out.print lm, you can have the io.print, and then you that so you can have a hello world in one line or two lines if you like.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, again, this is I this is tricky because less number of line doesn't mean it's a better code, right?
Mm-hmm.
Readability and legibility is not the same thing, and you don't charge when you sell a software. You don't charge by the number of lines or the number of characters, or right. So when someone says verbose, half of my brain start laugh and say this person doesn't understand even programmer anyway, because we don't care about the number of characters or lines.
Mm-hmm.
But Java try to recover, let's say, right, and make
Mm-hmm.
the startup or the first impression more friendly, and then they kind of reduce the boilerplates that you need type. But there is
Mm-hmm.
loads of examples, right? So, but yeah, to be fair, right, 21 plus or 25 plus, Java becomes really friendly, nice to
Yeah.
start, and it's not definitely it's not verbose.
Yeah, I agree. Well, speaking of examples, Hamza has a question. So, in our uni, they teach Java only up to OOPs. Can you advise me, beside backend, for what is it being used for? That's a good question, right?
Yeah, that's another myth or legend. Java is only for web application, or only backend, or Java there is no fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The famous one, I think, is the game, right? Is Minecraft was created in Java, so that's a famous one. We have some IDs that are in Java as well, NetBeans and Eclipse, those kind of famous examples. But you can use Java for data. There is Apache Kafka, Apache Spark, Apache Flink. They are tools for data streaming, data manipulation, machine learning. All of them, or majority of them, are written in Java. So that is a nice niche. So data engineer scenarios each, right? A data pipeline, data structure. You can go Java. You can go gaming, right? As I said, Minecraft and create things. There is the JavaFX, so you can use for building some UIs and GUIs and automations. There is the Raspberry Pi, that is kind of my niche, so you can play with Raspberry Pi and go in hardware. There is the Pi4J, right? So you can play with hardwares and create sensors and do crazy things. So definitely you can use Java in several ways and several things, right? And of course, you can do the server send events, or server the way that you can have the UI created by the backend or created by the server itself. So you can play with web applications in a rich way with UI and things like that. So, and then
So, mm-hmm.
mobiles, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can definitely have Java in mobiles. No, nowadays we have Kotlin, but usually to be Android, that is Java based. Still there, right? So you can do mobile applications, and so there is plenty of space for everything.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there are, as far as I know, there are several ways of transferring a Java application onto mobile, right? So Java is even there. Of course, it's not the, I guess, the first go-to choice, right? Not the obvious one, at least. But if you already work with Java, it might be easier, right, to unify the stack. So you can use Java for many use cases that your application is there for, right? So the web application, the desktop application might be, right? Some applications are desktop, they have the
Yeah.
desktop version, like Slack, for instance, or the mobile version of the application, right? And when the stack is unified, that's easier to maintain. Right.
You can
So,
have Java. You can go crazy. Like it's a generic universal language, right? So you can run everywhere. There's people running in a microcontrollers, right? It's not
mhm.
Java was not conceived or based to do that, but people use it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can go for anything regarding, right? So I play with hardware, so you can try to run Java in hardware. Why not, right? So you can do anything that you like. You can use for generate music. You can use for arts. You can use for any kind of fun, right? So
Yeah. Well,
everything is possible.
speaking by the way of hardware and Raspberry Pis, I know it's a passion of yours and it also plays a important role in this story, in the initiative itself. But why is the Raspberry Pi is an important part of the Java education initiative?
Good question. So there is two answers that. First, because everything starts with Coder Dojo, and Coder Dojo end up under Raspberry Pi Foundation. As the name said, Raspberry Pi Foundation, they care about Raspberry Pi. That was one side of the history. The other side is because Raspberry Pi usually to be quite affordable computer, right? It's a credit card machine size,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a full computer there, right? You can use for learning, for studying, right? It's an environment that you can build and break and rebuild and break, and so you can use it in a really nice way. And the other thing is Raspberry Pi has the GPIOs, right? So you can connect sensors, heads, and things like that. So you can have a LED, blink a LED, or check your temperature or humidity or presence sensors on things like that. You can go crazy and add loads of things, right? And this
Mm-hmm.
is part of the Steam, right? So Coder Dojo is based on Steam, right? So you can teach it not only programming, but you can teach hardware, electronics, physics, right? So you can play and you can combine everything. And then
Mm-hmm.
Raspberry Pi evolves and has different versions. They released the Raspberry Pi, the most updated one is version 5 and has 16 gigas of memory. So you have plenty of space for run loads of things, even Kubernetes and Kafka and things on the top, right? And then one of the things that you can play is you can have Java, of course. You can have on when you talk about learning, there is a tool that is a notebook. There is the Jupyter notebook on the Python world,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's really famous. It's kind of HMI style, and then you have a visual, and you can build nice tutorials or guidelines that people can follow. And then you can have nowadays, of course, you can have Java there, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There is even an official Oracle Java plugin for VS Code that when you install that thing, behind the scenes has the notebook kernel there. I don't think they advertising a lot, but it's there. So then you can start the kernel and you can have notebook with Java in few clicks, even without knowing
Cool.
how to install Java, how to put Java on the path, anything. You can have a hello world in one line, right? When
Mm-hmm.
you install the plugin, if it doesn't find the Java, he gives you the option and he install Java for you. Of course, you can choose the versions, choose the 25 plus, right? You have everything there. And then you have a really nice, powerful tools with visual stuffs that you can create some guidelines, tutorials, especially if you focus on teenagers and kids, right? Or people that are learning the basic steps of programming.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do things really nice. And then if you combine everything together and put this on the top of the Raspberry Pi, you have plus the hardware or the physics together, right? So you can have everything together in a really nice way. Another point is that a Raspberry Pi, you need a SD card with, so you install in the SD card the OS, the tools, the libs, and everything, right? And it's because it's a SD card you can copy, and it's, I don't know, let's say 5 gigabytes of size, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
can have a copy of that image, and then if you share the image, you don't even need to reproduce, right? You copy exactly the image. So then everything is already configured, set up, and out of the box. So it's a plug and play, right? So you have everything there. You just turn on, and that's it. You have the environment, you have everything there. You don't need anything. Then you
Well,
can
I
run Java
think,
really
yeah.
fast and easy.
Mm-hmm. I think Raspberry Pi is a excellent and very fun uh, stuff, right? So you even if you are already Java developer working with Java professionally, experimenting with Raspberry Pi gives so much fun, right? Just in your free time, just to see how Java can be used on physical machine to create some silly or beautiful things, right? Like LED stripes blinking or whatever. So, Igor, can you recommend some projects for people who want to try out using Java on Raspberry Pi? Something
Yeah,
beginner
I
level.
have two projects that I created that became trendy, let's say. And none of them was my idea. I saw someone doing something similar and I combine ideas. The first one is a LED stripe.
Mm-hmm.
With a LED stripe, I create what I call the LED race.
Mm.
So imagine LED stripe, and then you turn on 3 or 4 LEDs in a sequence, red and green. Then you have a button, and when you press, they shift to one position altogether. And then far you press, far they go. So then you can have two cars, and then it's a race, red and green, and they go. And if you have, I did with I think it was 5 meter LED stripe, and then puts in a loop. So then they go in a loop, and it's a race.
Cool.
And you
Cool.
can explore in several ways. How faster you click, you can create a table, score, then player one, player two, player three, player four,
Cool.
virtual together. Then you can go with Kafka without Kafka. You can do lots of things.
It's
But
cool.
if you
Very.
look a LED
Mhm.
stripe or a sequence of LEDs, you can think in a data structure. So think about five to 10 LEDs in a sequence. It's a nice way to explain data structure. What is array? What's a pipe? What's a stack? Right. So if you just flip it, you have a stack, and then so
Yeah.
using LED stripe or a sequence of LEDs to teach basic concepts of programming, how to sort, how to insert, those kind of transverse, is really nice. That's again, you can explore in several ways. You can build with Spring, then you build with Micronaut, then you build with Quarkus, then you compare, then you build without framework, you create your own, then you connect with database, you don't connect with database. You know what I mean? Like there's lots of things that you can do.
Yeah. Do you have a
The
tutorial on that?
Yes, I have some codes here and there, loads of
Uh-huh.
blog posts here and there as well.
Okay, I see.
Uh, but that's what I say. LED race. I think I saw in a Maker magazine, and people did with Arduino,
Mm-hmm.
and then I created the Raspberry Pi version. Then I found I think a LED race on Twitter. I don't know if this
Mm-hmm.
is still this was I don't know 8 years ago. I don't know if this they still online and if they exist. And I remember he tweeted my tutorial when I did, and I was the first one using Java, or the first one even outside the Arduino, right? So I was the first one in Raspberry Pi, and I don't know if it's still there, but I should be able to find. But if you search LED race, you're going to find loads of things. Right? The other
Hmm.
one that was really trending was the projector. So someone, again, I think I saw this in a coder dojo.
Mm-hmm.
Someone figured out that the magnifying glass of the Lego, if you put a LED close by, create a projection. And then said, okay, we have a 8 by 8 display, LED display. Then we can try to build kind of the Lego face, and then was doing the animation of the Lego face or some description. And then people was like, no, nice mixing with Lego. And then suddenly one of the kids of the dojo didn't have the magnifying glass, and he bought the lens of a project from his house. And then it was like, was a brilliant idea because people realize, oh, okay, I don't need the magnifying glass anymore. I can do with any lenses. And then this grows, and people did it with, I don't know, a big lens, even more, because you grow the quality, right? So you need more LEDs and more points or dots. So people start doing with screens instead of LEDs, and then end up with a full mobile, and then you can project, I don't know, a full size picture. So it's cinema quality, right? So you jump from a really silly projection for a full cinema quality, and but yeah, then that thing explode because you can do loads of things. You can build animation. Again, you can try with frameworks. You can do web without web, with frameworks, without frameworks. You can do with Lego, without Lego, different lenses, different things. So word without end. And then the main thing is not the idea itself, but you combine with fun things, right? Because it was Steam, teenagers and kids. I don't know how I can combine this with Pokemon or with Zelda or with Mario Bros. Do you know, like how I can make this fun in the same way, or kids orientated or teenagers orientated, and then you grows in loads of different contexts. Let's create our own animation for Pokemon or whatever, right? So that's the idea.
Nice.
And then I use that thing to poke different groups or different organizations. I did a presentation on Jakarta 2, 3 years ago or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then was basically Java on Raspberry Pi, but I focus how you can build a Jakarta application to build the animation, right? The same thing with JBang. Can we use JBang? Those kind of ideas, right? So I try to use the bring names or Quarkus or Spring. So you do those kind of connections, and then of course you bring the awareness and try to get them to join the idea, to buy the idea, and bring the advertise right about those things that you can do, and this improves and share the word about Java and education, things like that. Yeah, that's the idea.
Oh, yes, that is beautiful. And I think such projects, such exciting projects, will really help to spark the interest in children and teenagers around Java, right? Because it's fun. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody wants to learn something that is boring, right? But it's fun. And yeah, I think that might be a very nice way to go. You mentioned PI4J earlier, and we also have the question from Hansa about PI4J. So could you please elaborate a little bit on that? So what exactly is PI4J? And maybe you suggest the book to start with that?
Right. So Pi4J is the most, maybe it's the unique one, but most used and most common, most popular Raspberry Pi lib that you can use, right? In Java,
Mm-hmm.
of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the Raspberry Pi has the GPIOs, and then you can turn on, turn off, or use those things to control sensors. And Pi4J gave you the lib out of the box. You can just use it. They released the version 4 recently, and is Java 25 orientated, right? So you can have Raspberry
Mm-hmm.
Pi with Java 25, then you can use the Pi4J version 4. And then you have out of the box a lib to control the GPIO, and then you can blink a LED, let's say, right? Or read a temperature sensor, or have a servo sensor there that opens the door, or things like that. Then you can go there, and they have loads of tutorials, loads of things. Of course, when I started the Java education idea or catalog, I get in touch with them. I usually to help them somehow, somewhere. I kind of enthusiast and I collaborative way, right? I put my efforts there. I collaborate with the project. Uh, you can find Pi4J on GitHub, right? So our website,
Mm-hmm.
there's all the information there. You can go and try to help them and to support them. And it's a nice way. It's a nice tool to start in open source if you want to contribute and those kind of things. And then they really accepted my idea. They was really keen. And they say, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's go do this, do that." And we exchanged some ideas, right, or how we should do and how we should progress. And
Mm-hmm.
then this helps a lot, right? Because as I said, end up that coder club is under Raspberry Pi Foundation. So then Raspberry Pi becomes a big thing on step, and of course Pi4J becomes a good thing. And one of the, as I said, like the initiative is catalog things, but the everything starts because we didn't have Java on the coder dojo. And if
Mm-hmm.
one day we manage to win and manage to add Java there, of course Pi4J will grow and it's going to be a nice thing. So on the end, like is everybody's helping each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are helping each other to a common goal that is Java education. But if we put Java there, it's going to bring visibility for Java, but it's going to be a super visibility for Pi4J. Of course, Pi4J then decide, okay, let's help you, right? Because it's a win-win situation. And the other thing is the hats. So hats is kind of a hardware that you plug and play on the Raspberry Pi.
Mm-hmm.
Without, you don't need the soldering, you don't need the connecting anything. It's just plug and play, right? And then this becomes really niche thing for Raspberry Pi world because you can sell loads of hats with different sensors, and then you don't care about connecting them. You just plug and play out of the box. You can use it. And then Raspberry Pi Foundation releases what they call the sensor hat. They have a humidity, temperature, pressure, gyroscope, and then some buttons and 8x8 LED display. There is lots of things in one hat. You plug and play on the Raspberry Pi out of the box. You can use everywhere. And then they have loads of supports, loads of things. And to not say all, 99% is Python. There is C, lib, or maybe everything is
Mm-hmm.
Python, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we said, okay, why not? We can do Java. We have the Py4j. We just need to understand some components and some sensors and some drivers, and then we can rebuild this in Java. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, the Py4j gave me a lots of help. And they release, or they are about to release, the new version of the drivers lib that has lots of examples, different things, right? And then one of the things is the sensor heads, or a part, a subset, a starting point, let's say, right? The idea is
Mm-hmm.
to grow up to have 100%, but they gave you a kind of a nice seed that you can start there. You can start there, right? You have
Mm-hmm.
everything to grow, and then you can reproduce basically everything that you can do in any other language in Java with the sensor head. But one really nice project the Raspberry Pi Foundation has is what they call AstroPi.
Oh, tell me more about that because you mentioned that your well goal is to send Java to space, and that sounds very promising and exciting. So, what is it about sending Java to space?
Yeah, that's when the fun starts, right? So this
Mm-hmm.
project AstroPi is in combination with the what's the name, European Space Station, or European Station Agents, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of the NASA for Europe, and they have
Mm-hmm.
a agreement with the Raspberry Pi Foundation that
Mm-hmm.
they send the Raspberry Pi physical hard to space, and they put on the inside the International Space, uh, and they this Raspberry Pi has the sensor heads, and they run some softwares or some codes from kids. So kids worldwide can submit once a year. I think the project already complete 10 years, so it's quite
Wow.
of old. So
Mm-hmm.
kids worldwide can submit once in a year for a competition. I don't know exactly how they judge, but if submit the code, and then the code, if it's selected, your code is going to run on space, right, on the international space. And then you can use everything from the sensor head, temperature, humidity, sensor things, right, readings, and then the 8x8 LED display. Again, there is really rich materials outside regarding how to do it, how to participate. There,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, 99%, to not say 100%, is Python. And then we
Mm-hmm.
say, well, now that we have Py4j support, that we have the drivers, that we have Java, and then we can do everything. So let's do the Java version, right? So we have Java in a nice way, Java drivers, Java sensor head, Java coding, and we even go. We even when I was talking with the Py4j people, I was like, let's go really crazy. We are going to have the same method names, or the same, right, almost the same, right? So you can translate from Python to Java in a really easy way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same name of method, same parameters, same
Mm-hmm.
everything, right?
Yeah.
And then we are kind of in this moment, right? They release I don't know, Py4j 4 month ago, and they are about to release, or they released the driver version, right, let's say. So
Mm-hmm.
we're in a specific moment that now we are going to start say, okay, we have everything to have Java on space, or to have Java on AstroPi, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we manage to have Java on AstroPi, means the kids or the teenagers can submit Java code, and this Java code are going to be run inside the Raspberry Pi physical one that's go to the space. Therefore, we are putting Java in space, right? So that's
Cool.
the idea.
Hmm.
And I in the last, I don't know, 6 months, I've been talking with people regarding the idea, regarding the initiatives, how you can help, and so on and so on. And then I was joking, right? Or stay tuned or be with me because soon I will need your help to put Java in space. In the sense that we are going to, uh, let's say, once we have a demo or a kind of a sample code, we can start post on social network, right? And we are
Hmm.
going to tag Raspberry Pi Foundation and even the European station, right? Agent.
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
we are going to start poking, hey, what do you need? What else, right? What
Yeah.
else you need to run this? Because it's going to be just press a button and run. People can
Yeah.
say, no, to run Java, you need Maven, you need Gradle. We can do JBang solution, right?
Hmm.
Plug and
Hmm.
play one line, just run. You can use the SDK man to install Java. You can use JBang to install Java, and then you can use JBang to run. So there is no excuse, right? You can have everything easy, nice, and ready to go. And then, of course, then I get in touch with JBang guys. I get in touch with Pi4j guys. I get in touch with Raspberry Pi. So, do you know, I try to go every side or every way. But that's the idea. We are going to have something ready to go, nice to copy, and almost similar or if not equals Python version in Java. And then hopefully they will accept it. There is lots of benefits here, right? They open for Java means the kids can learn different languages, object orientation, new paradigms, new things. Brings lots of visibility for Pi4j, of course. Bring loads, opens the gaps or opens the for the Pi Foundation or the Raspberry Pi Foundation see more Java. Brings more Java for education, and of course brings Java to space. And this you can use for when you talk about education, right? If you go in an event or conference, there is not too many topics about Java in education. People
Yeah.
perhaps
Hmm.
found boring or they don't care. Or the people go to a conference, they want to know what's the new framework or what people are doing or how to make money. They do you know what I mean? Like education becomes a niche and therefore is not there is not a selling point, let's say. So my point is, if I bring fun, right? If I bring something else, it's not only about education. It's Java on space.
Hmm.
Maybe this bring more visibility and say, oh, that's a really nice idea. We want Java on space, so let's bring this to a conference, right? Do you know? So that's the idea.
Hmm.
So by luck or by mistake, or it's just my way, I kind of combine everything, and I'm trying to put everything and together, and hopefully it's going to explode in a big boom and
Yeah.
everything should work. But
Hopefully too.
slowly we are getting attention here and there. When I started the initiative, for me it was like I'm going to create a GitHub and I'm going to post there, and then I received major or huge support from FullJ. If you're watching and you don't know about FullJ, Friends of OpenJDK, search on Google, you're going to find they have a huge community, huge support. They support me. They gave me the GitHub. They say, no, we can put your catalog, catalog inside the FullJ, right? So it's not me, it's not my anymore, it's community one, right? It's even
Hmm.
easier to talk about people community than Igor ID, right? Igor, people are who the heck is Igor? Now it's FullJ is big, right?
Hmm.
And then this brings more visibility, more ideas, and then more than that, they say, no, you have the GitHub, but let's create a page. Let's put something even more. So they gave me the page, and of course, they gave me blog posts. They gave me podcast. They gave me all this, everything that's possible, right? Igor, here, 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 here. And then
Yeah.
this brings lots of visibility. The project grows, right? The initiative grows, and
Hmm.
everything is on GitHub, is open for contribution. So If you know any link or any kind of tutorial, video, articles, blog posts, anything that is related with Java and education or can be used in Java and education, you're more than welcome to go there and submit your pull request or submit your idea there, right? And
Cool.
then
How about
hopefully
how about adding Cyberjar to
you
instead of
that's I'm this is something that you can ask me again in few months. This is something that you told me, I don't know, 3 months ago, and I saw, I like it, but I didn't put myself. I will.
Thank you.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those kind of ideas, right? CyberJar is a excellent example, a nice example that we can use. We can have there. There is, I don't know, other links and videos and YouTube channels, right? That we add, and then
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, right, the more people support, more people put in the contribution, better the material becomes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
More visibility we achieve. Hopefully, the Raspberry Pi Foundation is going to see as there is potential. Hopefully, AstroPi is going to see and say, I like it. Hopefully, we will have a Java in space. Hopefully, we will have Java official inside Coder Club. This brings Java to a huge number of kids and teenagers worldwide. And then the benefits for everyone, right? Education, people around the world, all the kids and teenagers, knowledge of Java, knowledge of object orientation, right? So there's loads of benefits. And in the middle, here and there, Raspberry Pi and Pi4J benefits as well, right? And maybe
Mm-hmm.
me, maybe, but anyone wins in the end, right? So that's the
Yeah.
overall solution idea and initiative. Yeah.
Cool. But do you think that in the age of AI, it is still important to teach programming, or is it less or more important, so to say?
It's a trick question. I don't know if I don't think it's less or I think it's equals. You need to learn. There is a really famous uh, joke or internet meme for I don't know 10. We usually to have a T-shirt that is like, "I'm not a hacker. I only I only use Google better than yourself or better than you." That was the T-shirt. Right? So nowadays the T-shirt changes and it's, "I'm not a hacker. I only prompt better than you. So I know how to use the prompt, right?"
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the AI is here to help more than you use it, more better you prompt, better the outputs, right? But becomes tricky nowadays because now you have the skills, you have the agents, you have the specs, right? So you need to learn those kind of things. Better you know how to create a skill or how to use an agent or how to have an MCP or how to better results you're going to achieve. So in theory, it's not about the prompt anymore, right? So you need to know some skills here and there. And people are talking about vibe coding and you don't code, you just vibe.
Yeah.
Yes and no, right? There is the true and the not true part of those sentence. But the main point, and then people are talking about the problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can write vibe code, anything, put in production, but then loads of problems appears, the security vulnerabilities, right? Loads of data is being compromised. People are putting credentials publicly. Loads of companies are losing clients or customer data. Those kind of problems. So this answer us or give us the visibility that it's not one or the other, it's both, right? So you need to know or you need to understand. The AI is going to prompt you or give you the code, but you need to understand what you're doing. You need to understand how it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's just a bunch of garbage. You're piling loads of garbage, right? In one moment, it's going to fall and you're going to. But yeah, there is loads of things. And then the other point is the agents, because now people are talking about multi agents, right? I can have a two, three, four, five agents running simultaneous in different parts of my code, or even in different projects. So I'm super fast. I deliver it 10 times. I have 5 agents, so I deliver 5 times faster, right? My
Mhm.
brain is lots of content switch and things like that. But again, on the end, if I don't have the understanding of my codes, or if I deliver something that I don't know what I'm doing, the consequence could be really drastic, right? Could be catastrophic for the company, for the project, for everyone.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
people are talking about the waves, right? So nowadays, majority of the companies are doing layoffs. I'm going to lay off, I don't know, thousands of my employees because AI is, I'm going to use AI. Half of my code is AI generated and I don't need half of the developers, right? This not
Yeah.
necessarily is true. There's loads of VS, right? Loads of things. But we usually true. I was joking, right? My conspiration theories, right? The company say I have 10 employees, so they are using credits and they are delivering, right? So
Mhm.
I I lay off half of them, and then this money I use it to pay more credits for the of the
Yeah.
half that survive,
Yeah.
and they are delivering far and more. And but again, this doesn't. This is one vision, right? There is
Mhm.
loads of. There is not right or wrong. I think we
Mhm.
are in a moment that no one knows, right? This is clear. No one knows what's going to happen, and you always going to see. Normally, I usually to joke, right? People that
Mhm.
are not developer or not IT related, they are easy to say, oh, AI is going to kill the development. If you're learning development nowadays, stop because this profession is not going to exist in 3 months or in 3 years. And we know that's not true, right? I'm being 20 years listen that Java is going to die and I'm still here, right? There's plenty of jobs. So I don't
Yeah.
think a developer is going to die. Developer is going to disappear. So we just need to learning how to use it and progress, right? Evolve with the technology. The other thing
Mhm.
is about juniors, right? So
Mhm.
we are not going to hire juniors anymore because whatever the juniors do, they I can do faster and better. If you think like that way, in 5 years, the market is going to fall because there is no where is the new generation, right?
True.
So we are talking
Mhm.
about Java education, the next generation, right? Or far,
Mhm.
let's teach them basic of coding or development, right? So object orientation or coding skills, because they are the future. They need, right? So the new developers generate.
Yeah, they will have to deal with all the mess that we have created. Well, not we, but the
There is
companies that
the vibe
created.
coder fixer or something like vibe coder removal. So it's the specialist of remove the vibe coder from the
Really?
previous generation,
That
the
exists?
garbage.
Really? No.
This is a joke, but yeah, that is
Or could be, could be. What are your two scenarios? The best case scenario and the worst case scenario of how this whole AI hype is going to evolve into the future?
really tricky and difficult question. I don't think I have an answer, but that's I said like
That's
there is
hypothetical, just yeah.
there is two ways to think, right?
Hmm.
One way is that's what I said, like we are in a way or we are in a wave that majority of the companies paying a subscription, and then they have X tokens or X credits, and they
Hmm.
are look on the end of the month they look in the bill, say I pay for 5 employees, but two of those didn't expend the full credits, and I want them to expand because I'm paying. So the company say you need to use the credits, you need to use the credit. I don't care what you're doing, but I want to see you're using, right, that
Hmm.
you expend the credits. But in we are in a moment that the AIs are changing the business model, right? Now it's not going to be a bundle anymore. It's pay as you go. So more credits user, more than you pay. So the companies are shifting. No, no, no. You are using too much credits. Now I don't want you to use all the credits. I want you to slow down, right? So, and then this more you use it, more resources, right? Energy,
Yeah.
money, computer, power, right? Everything becomes resources, right? And more resources you spend, more money you put. And then if you want to go crazy, culture is energy, right? Energy is going to be the next is the next crisis, or is the petrol becomes the really important thing. Now energy becomes a new important thing. People usually to say the humanity is going to die because we are going to fight about water. We are going to fight about energy, probably before the water, right?
Yeah.
If we don't, if
Yeah.
the planet doesn't destroy itself before the it's going to be the energy. It's the new big thing.
Hmm.
More memory. So that's another thing, right? Energy becomes really expensive. People start to buy all the types of memory. Memory becomes expensive. Therefore, Raspberry Pi, that usually to be a effort, quite affordable machine, nowadays is expensive because there is no memory, there is no material, source material, right? So then the production drops, therefore the price goes up, and people are crazy buying more memory, more memory, more memory. So then the Raspberry Pi 5, 16 gigs of memory
Hmm.
was released, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, and was around $100. Nowadays, it's around $300, so three times more.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, for me, as a robist that likes to play with Raspberry Pi, becomes expensive, right?
Hmm.
And unfortunately, it is what it is, right? With war, with AI, and things like that. Unfortunately, it's not there. And if you if you search Google about, right, they are talking about the same things. Like, unfortunately, the price is not going to fall soon in a near future, unfortunately. And then the Raspberry Pi already spoke about the Raspberry Pi 6 is going to be a little bit postponed because what's the point to release now is going to be super expensive. So they are postponed. And people still wants to buy the next memory layer or the next memory level, LLM 5, LLM 6, or whatever, right? So the price is increasing, 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 unfortunately. So
Yeah.
that's the end of the world scenario. In that scenario, we don't care if the developer is going to survive or not because the world is going to collapse, right? But
Yeah.
the other way to think and approach is this is another evolution, and the humanity evolution is a cycle, right? Every, I don't know, 50 years or 20 years or 100 years, there is a new evolution. We are kind of the world before internet, right? Now we have the internet. So what's the next? So if you think about that, it's just evolution. So therefore, we are not going to die. Therefore, we are not going to lose our jobs, and we are going to evolve and adapt and use it. Therefore, the AI is here to help you, to guide you, to make you more proactive, right? You're going to deliver more with help
Hmm.
of AI. Then you're going to you need adapt, right? Evolve in that sense, and
Hmm.
then no one is going to lose jobs and things like that, right? So
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
go far left or far right, whatever, right?
This one I like more. But by the way, speaking of AI helping you and guiding you, Hamza has a very interesting question. So, how can we use AI to learn actually Java better? Like, how to do the thinking and not to make to let AI make us developers lazy about writing the code.
I think it's regarding the basics, right? It's really normal as us humans, right? When we talk about learning something, we want the shortcut, we want to jump steps, we want the result, right? We are kind of result orientated, right? I don't want to spend 6 months of my life doing basic of Java. I want to see the page, I want to see the game, right? I want to see something.
Mm-hmm.
And in theory, it's not that is this is not the right way, right? So you need to learn the basics. So what is memory, uh, data structures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basic of object orientation to learn Java, right? How I create a class, what is the object, how I create an object, right? What's happen if I do a new string? It's a pointer for a memory, right? Despite we don't care about pointers and memory allocation in Java because gives you out of the box. You need to
Mhm.
understand those concepts, right?
Mhm.
And maybe 20 years ago, we usually to use it more because we have memory and constraints limitations, right? We didn't usually to have a machine with superpower. So you deal with the problem because you have the limitation. That's why I I usually to joke, right? Raspberry Pi has limitations because of size, memory, so it helps you to learn those things, right?
Mhm.
But nowadays you have a infinite computer power, infinite memory, so you perhaps became lazy in that regard. But you need to learn the basics, right?
Mhm.
Then what's happened behind the scenes, how you do it, things, and step by step. And then AI can help you to learn those things, right? So it's you can prompt it and ask AI build a game for you, build this, right? And he's going to give you. But you can ask, can you explain it step by step, baby steps, right? Line by line. You can always argue and ask it, explain it, all the details, the bits and bytes, why, right? How this work. I can have a hello world in a Spring application, Spring Boot, right?
Mhm.
But do you understand why? Do you know that Spring Boot starts a Tomcat? Why is Tomcat? What's happened there? What is Tomcat? Right? Those kind of questions. I can connect with a database. What is the connection? JDBC. What is JDBC? How works behind the scenes? What's the difference? Or ORM, right? The Hibernate, JPA. So how? So you can use your curiosity to learn, right? So ask AI why, what this, why that, what that, and then you learn. Give me the details, and as I said, more you use it, more you get to learn. But basically, more than ask the AI to do it, ask the AI to explain, right? Explain me what's
Yeah.
happened. Explain me
Mhm.
the possible, the trade-offs. What are the
Mhm.
options? Why you choose
Mhm.
that option instead of the other options that we have? The trade-offs, right? And then details. Give me, explain me those 5 lines, or explain line by line, or explain me function by function. And then you learn, and then the concepts, right? I'm here is creating our object. What creation? What this means, right? What it means when I create an object? What happens behind the scenes? Then
Mhm.
you learn more basic knowledge how program works or how the things works. Uh, one of famous one that became really trained in Java is virtual threads, right?
Mhm.
Virtual threads is kind of the coroutines implementation, Java coroutines implementation, if you like. And there's coroutines as a concept exists. I don't know, 50 years ago, someone created the concept. And believe it or not, majority of the language has some kind of coroutines implementation, right?
Mhm.
So try to understand the concept. What is a coroutines? How coroutines works? Why Java decide to implement that way? If you old enough, remember from Java 1, they usually to have what they call green threads. So try to, it's quite difficult, but if you search in Google, you're going to find old materials about green thread. And if you look virtual threads and green thread, there is a similarity. Why? And then, like those gaps. It's the same thing, similar thing. It's coroutine implementation ish. Then you understand loads of things, right? Why they, and then of course you can go and Google about the JEP, and then Google about more information and more precise details. But I think the curiosity drives you to learn things. And as I said, it's really common nowadays. I have a friend that he is a professor, right? He teaches Java in university. And then we was talking, and he was like, man, nowadays the young people, they don't want to learn programming. And I try to explain for my class the importance of learn Java, right? He teaches Java course, and the students was, no, we don't want to learn because nowadays AI is going to
Mhm.
do for us, so we don't. So again, it's tricky, right? So
Mhm.
we are kind of dealing with those problems, and you need to learn as well. And it's even tricky. It's tricky for the students, but it's tricky for the professor as well, right? For the teachers and professor, they need to involve and learn, right? They need it. involved and they need deal with that and they need grow. It's one thing that was I saw this, I don't know, 2 years ago. A friend of mine was doing a master, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then the professor, the guys there was like, no, you cannot use AI. You need to do the assessments yourself, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
we saw that you using AI, you're going to receive zero. You're going to be disclassified and whatsoever. Nowadays it's changed. No, you can use AI, right? AI is there
Yeah.
for help you. I think it's the same thing 20 years ago with internet, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago they was like you cannot search on the internet. Now it's
Yeah.
okay. Of course, go and search on the internet. Right?
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
involve it with the technology.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think this initiative is super important because I think you are right. To get good experts, to get the seniors, we need to get the juniors, and to get the juniors, we need to get teenagers and children actually interested in programming and Java specifically, right? If you want
Yeah.
more Java programmers. So, Igor, tell us how we can contribute to the initiative, the audience that is watching. How can we contribute? What do you need more? Do you need more content or reviewers or mentors or translations or something else?
Yeah, that's a good question. We basically need everything to get right. But one thing that I pointed at and I that's everything when it started is if you're thinking about Java in education itself, we need content, but we need accuracy, right? Quality of the content, right?
Hmm.
When we talk about Java on Raspberry Pi Foundation itself, it's not about the content itself. There is plenty of content, right? There is
Hmm.
thousands of contents outside, good quality contents outside, right? The problem is visibility of those, right? So that's why
Hmm.
the category starts, right? Let's in a universal, a unique place where we can add things there, and we give the visibility. So how you can help? If you know, if you created or if you are aware of any kind of material, video, blog, tutorial, books, anything that can or could be used to teach Java in what way whatsoever, you can open a pull request there, put the links, and then the catalog grows.
Hmm.
The second thing that you can help is all the materials or all the things related with Java and the myths and the legends. Java is low, Java is verbose, Java is. If you have any kind of content or material that helps to bring the awareness that this is a legend, this is not true anymore, this is maybe 20 years ago, that material helps a lot, right?
Hmm.
And then I might start a second catalog. I don't know what's going to happen, but we can thinking about this, right? Those materials help a lot. And then the third one is the coder club itself.
Hmm.
If you bring the awareness for them, if you poke them, if somehow make them aware of about Java, the importance of Java, why do you want, right? I was joking about instead of trying to convince them that Java, I want the teenagers or the kids tell them that they want Java because the
Hmm.
kids are the important things, right?
That's
If the
clever.
kids if the kids start to talk to them, we want Java, so then
Hmm.
maybe they. So if you know someone inside the organization, if you know someone there or somehow somewhere, if you can poke, so generate more content, brings the visibility, somehow could get attention from them. That's another pillar or how you can help, right? And
Hmm.
then the parallel initiatives, for example, AstroPi is one example, right? Anything that you can do to help put Java in the sensor hat on the Raspberry Pi helps the idea that we can sell Java in space, right? That's the idea. And again, poking people, tagging them on social network, make them awareness that we can run, we can have this, brings the visibility. And if we put Java on space, of course, we say, hey, Java on space, and then more visibility,
Yeah.
then the fun on the top. But this is one example, right? If you, I don't know, if you work with anything that is somehow you can relate it and makes education faster and nicer or fun, helps. One example is one article that shows how I can combine Java and Mario Bros or Pokemon, right? Those kind of things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it's teenager kids orientated, it's open and freedom and fun, right? So it's more than just coding and algorithm ideas, it's more fun, right? So those kind of things helps a lot. And then mix of everything, right? More noise we created, more visibility we get, right? More
Mm-hmm.
chance to succeed. And then the other thing is the companies, right? So I started to post on social networks. So I went against Jakarta and say, hey, Jakarta, do you want to share the idea? Or like you guys, CyberJar, hey, or
Yeah.
JBang,
Mm-hmm.
Quarkus, Micronaut, Spring, or even the brands itself, or even the famous, right? Venkat, right? I
Mm-hmm.
went
Yeah.
Venkat. Do you know this idea?
Of
Do you
course.
want to share in our social network? Those kind of things, right? So
Yeah.
people can share and give more visibility. But the main goal is Java in education. A
Mm-hmm.
parallel goal, if you like, is Java on Coder Dojo, and a parallel of parallel is Java on Space, right?
Yeah.
This doesn't. I'm not saying that is only those goals, right? More parallel things can happen. As I said, we don't have a Java Meet idea catalog, but maybe I will start a second catalog with trying to uh, catalog articles and things that answer those legends. Java is not verbose, Java is not, right? Those kind of things. I can have another one to talk about Java in space. I can have another one to talk Java and coded doors. Do you know? So there is plenty of space. Uh, IG, FSOs, you find me in all social networks. But I'm always on Full J. If you don't know about this Full J, Friends of OpenJDK, search on Google, go there. They have a Slack community. I'm there. Just go there and post your ideas. The Java Education Catalog is on GitHub, so use the discussions there, open threads, open questions, open ideas, and I'm more than help to try to answer and collaborate and somehow somewhere. Basically, that's
Mhm.
it. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's make noise. That's the idea.
Yeah, I agree. Let's make some noise about Java and let's make it keep it forever out there. So thank you so much, Igor, for this live stream. I think this is a very beautiful and very important initiative that you are doing. And I wish you all the luck with that and also with sending Java into space. I think this is going to be a very important milestone for the whole Java community, actually, having
Mm.
Java in space. So
Will be
yeah,
fun. At least it will be fun, right?
at
Just to
least,
say, yes, we have Java in
yes.
space.
I'm
So
all up for any kind of fun, yeah.
another, you just said, remember some another way is the if you know or if you anyone knows, right? People from the European Space Agents,
Mm-hmm.
ESA, I don't know what ESA, I guess. European ESA, right?
Mm-hmm.
EESA, European Space Agents. I don't know. Google. Go
Yeah.
ask the AI to
Yeah.
get for you. Those guys are another a possible point of let's try to poke them. Let's try to show them that right Java.
Mhm.
We can run Java in the same way as Python, so therefore we can have Java in space. And then the coder org, that is the US version of the Coder Dojo, is another point as well. We can, the same way that we are trying Coder Dojo, they can replicate. And I'm 100% sure there is thousands of similar organizations worldwide, right? I'm from Brazil. There is organization
Yeah.
there in Ireland. There is here, right?
Yeah.
There is similar things worldwide. So if you work in one of those, the others can copy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm using the Coder Dojo under the Raspberry Pi Foundation as a sample, but once I manage it towards there, we can reproduce this in everywhere, right? Or vice versa. If someone knows any org or similar things that has Java, we can show me, let us
Mhm.
know because we can copy or we can use as a pilot and say, hey, Coder Dojo, look, they are doing. Why not you? You're not doing. What do you need? But
Mm-hmm.
there is one main point that I didn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
That is apparently, right? This is my understanding. On Coder Dojo,
Mm-hmm.
they have, let's say, they have the HTML or the JavaScript official course. So the way that works is they have a group or a org, a sub org inside the organization that keeps and maintaining things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, for start a Java one, they need more resource. And it's because it's kind of a org or a ONG. They don't have money, right? They don't have time and money to say, I'm going to hire a group of people or at least one person to start a Java org or Java sub word inside my organization to therefore have Java. This is a limitation, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
question is how us community can help this? Could we provide the course for them? Could we have kind of a community curator or community group of people that can keep and maintain for them? Therefore, they. So those are the things that I don't have the questions. I don't have the answer. Sorry, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing the questions in a collaborative way. Maybe we can answer. Maybe we can help them. Maybe we can achieve Java there, right? That's the thing.
Wow. Thank you so much, Igor. I do also would like to contribute to your initiative, and I hope, in a way, CyberJar already does because we are creating educational content about Java, mostly about the modern Java features or the best practices about security, and we also have live streams regularly with people like you, right, who share their passion, who share something new about Java, something exciting, something that they do, or some new projects. So I really do hope that it helps also a little bit to make the Java society more vibrant and to bring Java closer to everybody. So this is nice, and what we are doing is a great thing. Well, thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much. Yeah. As
Thank
I
you.
said, like you can ask me again. CyberJar will be there. And if you,
I will.
I
I will.
forgot. Let's say will
I
be
will.
will be yeah.
Okay.
But it's a collaborative way, right? If
Yeah,
someone is watching, open a PR there, and we will deal with
I
that.
yeah, I consider it's not impolite because I also contribute to the Java education. We are both working for the good cause, right? So
Good, good, good.
right. All right. Well, thank you everyone who attended the session. It was super cool, super fun. The recording will be available on YouTube, so you can watch it later or watch some parts. And I will also post all the required links, so the links that we have discussed, including the PI4J, AstroPi, Igor's blog, and the initiative itself, so that you can browse yourself and maybe you will contribute something as well to this beautiful initiative. Thank you, everyone, and until next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Ciao. Bye.